everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to my 10 favorite movies of 2022. This year has been excellent for this YouTube channel, and I cannot thank all of you enough. My channel has grown leaps and bounds, and your comments and your views and your likes do not go unnoticed. This is only the beginning. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And so it is time for my 10 favorite movies of the year, and this list was extremely hard. I literally came up with a list of 20, like even more so, and I had to make some very tough cuts, but I am satisfied with my 10. But before I get into my 10, here are my honorable mentions. Movies that I really liked for one reason or another, but they just weren't worthy enough to make it onto my 10. If I made a 15 or a 20, they would be on there, but it's just only a 10. So here are my honorable mentions. Ambulance, X, Pearl, Tar, Fresh, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I love those movies for one reason or another, but these are my 10 favorite movies of 2022. So starting off with number 10. Number 10, The Northman. Robert Eggers delivered another banger. This movie has not left my mind. As a matter of fact, it was my second favorite movie of the year for a long time, and then it eventually got knocked down by better movies. But I still have a lot of love for The Northman. It is a Viking story mixed in with mysticism, and it's dark and it's brooding, but I kind of love it for it. It's the most metal movie that I saw all year. Alex Pettyfer was great. Ethan Hawke was great in his small role. Nicole Kidman was good. Willem Dafoe was Willem Dafoe. And overall, this movie lies at the center of myth and reality, and it was beautiful to see. Number 9, Barbarian. Horror had a pretty damn good year this year, and so choosing my favorite horror movie of the year was super tough, but I finally settled on Barbarian for having legit the best twist of the year, and I won't spoil it here in case you all have not seen it, but go see it. It starts out completely pedestrian, and then by the end, my mind was just completely blown. I don't think I have ever been more in any other movie this year. Like, shout out to this movie for just completely crushing it with a twist that makes it worth the watch. Number 8, The Batman. Initially, I wasn't as on the hype train as my other critics. I was on the hype train, but just not as much. But the more I thought about it and the more I mulled it over and over in my head, the better it got. Matt Reeves is just one of those directors that has yet to miss, in my opinion, from his 2 Apes movies to this. And The Batman, it's awesome. I'm still not a huge fan of the direction they took Thomas Wayne, but it's a small nitpick in the grand scheme. Bring on the Batman to make the villain Mr. Freeze, you cowards. Number 7, The Fablemans. One of the most recent reviews on the channel is The Fablemans, Steven Spielberg's official but kind of unofficial life story. Basically, it's him on him. And him telling his story about how he fell in love with filmmaking and how it got him through some very rough times. I took my entire family to see this one. My mom, my dad, my aunt, even my 2 grandmothers went, and we all had a great time. This movie connects through generations. Paul Dano, Michelle Williams were both fantastic. Gabriel LaBelle, keep an eye out for him. He's going places. And I don't know if this is top tier Spielberg, but it is certainly Spielberg telling his story in his own way. Will this get awards? I'm honestly not sure. But if it doesn't even get a look at from like the Oscars, what are we doing here? Number 6, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Another very recent review on the channel, and this movie has just gotten better and better the more I've thought about it. DreamWorks is secretly crushing it in 2022 with both The Bad Guys and now Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I have enjoyed both DreamWorks' output more so than anything Disney has done, which I don't think has ever happened. But Puss in Boots is superior to The Bad Guys, though Bad Guys is really good. Puss in Boots is just beautiful, dealing in mature themes in a very mature way, It's honestly more adult than some animated movies I've seen in the past few years. It's very beautiful how meditations on death and nostalgia were just intertwined in with beautiful animation and a wonderful voice cast led by the always talented Antonio Banderas. If you have not seen this movie, see it, like yesterday. Number 5, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. By far and away, the biggest surprise of the year for me. I was expecting to like this movie. I ended up loving this little shell. It's actually a movie I ended up driving about 20 minutes out of my way to see because it didn't come to my area. It came a little further into the county, and I found a theater close enough to me, and I think I was the only person in the theater, but I absolutely loved it. Dean Fleischer Camp just did a fantastic job with the animation style and just how big of a heart this movie has. Marcel is just a wonderful little shell with shoes on. So if you have not seen the movie, maybe because it's the A24 factor, see it. It will warm your heart. Number 4, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. A24 had a banner year in 2022. They not only dropped Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, they also dropped Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And I don't think I can add anything to the discourse that hasn't already been said. Michelle Yeoh gives a career best performance, and really, for a movie that is just so out there and bizarre, it has a very human story about how insignificant every one of us feels, but yet we all do feel significant. It's a paradox, but it's a beautiful paradox. The Daniels, they crushed it, and I want to see more from them. Number 3, Babylon. Damien Chazelle is 4 for 4. Whiplash, La La Land, First Man, Babylon. Babylon is awesome. It's 3 hours of just chaos. But in the chaos is a wonderful and deep and layered story about change in the Hollywood system going from silent to sound, and how it's not just a matter of movies that sound to movies that sound like this. People got left behind in the sound age, and it was an issue of adapt or perish. Some people adapted, and a lot of people perished, quite literally. Diego Calva needs more work after this. He was phenomenal. And of course, Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt were predictably great. It is 3 hours. It is very much a rated R movie, and it is very artsy in places. But do yourself a favor and go see this R-rated version of Singing in the Rain. Number 2, Top Gun Maverick. Again, this is another one where I don't even really have to say all that much. Just by me saying the title, you all know exactly what this movie is. And really, this is a movie that by all accounts should not have been as good as it was, because the first Top Gun I personally love, but there are a school of people who are not super big fans of this one. While I am, and I was very excited for Top Gun Maverick, legacy sequels have a very hit or miss reputation. But this was a grand slam. Tom Cruise is a nut, but he is our nut. Miles Teller's awesome, and just, I could talk about this movie for days, but this is just a movie that everyone can get behind, and everyone absolutely did. The scene with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer, probably my favorite individual scene of the entire year. You know the scene I'm talking about. And my number 1 favorite movie of 2022 is The Menu. Before you all come at me, listen to me first. I had a very difficult time choosing between Top Gun Maverick and The Menu. They're both excellent, and I would consider both of them next to perfect, if not nearly perfect. But The Menu just gave me more to think about. And Top Gun had a lot of good themes in it as well, but The Menu just did a style of film with the whole satire of commentary, and not the satire of commentary, but the satire of the ultra rich and the food world, without being pretentious. Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes give career best performances. Nicholas Hoult, bless his soul, his character goes through it, and just Nicholas Hoult just proving why he is a great actor. And really, this movie should be pretentious, but it's really not. It has a very human story and it has a very human heart in it, and just how we've lost touch with food and we just look at it and just be like, oh, all for the gram, just to seem important. The cheeseburger scene just is one of the best, if not the best scene of 2022. It is so good. Go see the menu if you have not. It is a standout, and it is my favorite movie of 2022. And that was my list. What did you all think of it? What are your favorite movies of the year? It doesn't have to be 10, but what are your favorites of the year? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And stay tuned tomorrow for my least favorite movies of the year. It's going to be fun. If you did like the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.